Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how hard they work? What if I told you there's a hidden force in the universe that, once activated, could transform your financial reality overnight? A power so profound that when you tap into it, scarcity simply vanishes from your life as though it never existed in the first place. Over a century ago, a remarkable woman named Florence Scovel Shinn stumbled upon this extraordinary secret, a discovery so transformative that it completely revolutionized not just her understanding of prosperity, but the financial destinies of countless individuals who applied her teachings. And today, this wisdom has found its way to you. Has this ever happened to you? That feeling that certain knowledge arrives in your life at precisely the moment you need it most? This is no coincidence. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the globe. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. The universal laws of abundance operate with perfect precision, and your presence here, right now, watching this video, is evidence that you're ready to receive this life-changing information. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share could be the missing piece you've been searching for in your journey toward financial freedom. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in financial struggle, believing that money is scarce, hard to come by, and reserved for the fortunate few. They exhaust themselves chasing limited opportunities, competing fiercely for resources they believe are finite. But what if everything you've been taught about money is fundamentally flawed? What if abundance is actually your natural state, your divine birthright? Florence Scovel Shinn discovered that the universe operates according to precise spiritual laws that most of us have never been taught. When you understand and align yourself with these laws, prosperity flows to you with the same reliability as gravity pulls objects toward the earth. It's not mystical thinking. It's a practical system for activating the abundant resources that already surround you. What you're about to discover might surprise you, because it contradicts much of what our society believes about wealth creation. This isn't about working harder, investing smarter, or finding the right connections. It's about something far more fundamental, your relationship with the invisible forces that govern prosperity. The power to transform your financial reality doesn't reside in external circumstances, but in your own consciousness. Florence uncovered that your words, thoughts, and beliefs are actually spiritual commands being broadcast to a responsive universe that must, by divine law, fulfill what you decree. But here's the crucial distinction that separates those who manifest abundance from those who remain trapped in lack. If you're ready to continue this prosperity journey with me and discover more of Florence Scovel Shinn's timeless wisdom, hit that subscribe button right now. I share powerful manifestation techniques that most people will never discover on their own. Most people never realize that the universe doesn't even recognize the concept of impossible when it comes to prosperity. This revelation was at the core of Florence's transformative journey. You see, when you're operating from a mindset of scarcity, you're actually working against the very design of creation itself. Your creator established a perfect system where abundance isn't just available. It's your natural default state of being. Think about that for a moment. The struggle and limitation you may have experienced isn't the cosmic plan for your life. It's a deviation from it. This hidden truth shifts everything about how you navigate your financial journey. When you align with this principle, the transformation is often immediate and profound. But here's where most spiritual teachings about money fall short. They treat money as something separate from spirituality, something mundane or even negative. Florence discovered the exact opposite. Money isn't just currency or numbers in a bank account. It's actually divine energy manifested in physical form, specifically designed to bless your human experience and make your life richer in every sense of the word. This revelation completely reframes your relationship with wealth. When you recognize money as sacred energy rather than just paper or digital numbers, you open yourself to receiving it through channels you never previously noticed. Behind the scenes of our visible reality, this energy is constantly flowing, seeking expression through those who understand its true nature. The impact of this mindset shift cannot be overstated. When you stop seeing money as scarce or difficult to obtain, you step into alignment with universal abundance. It's like you've been swimming against a powerful current your whole life, and suddenly you turn around and let that same force propel you forward effortlessly. I've witnessed this principle work in the lives of people from all backgrounds, from those struggling to pay rent to successful entrepreneurs wanting to reach new heights. The common denominator in their breakthroughs wasn't education, connections, or even starting capital. It was this fundamental recognition of money's divine essence. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how your words and thoughts are actually functioning as commands to this intelligent universe. You see, most people are unconsciously programming themselves for financial limitation every single day through their habitual language patterns and beliefs. They don't realize they're issuing spiritual directives that the universe is faithfully fulfilling. What's fascinating is how quickly your external reality begins to mirror these internal shifts once you understand the mechanics of this process. The decisions you make from this expanded awareness create ripples across your entire financial landscape. If what I'm saying resonates with you, write "divine abundance" in the comments below. I'd love to know you're connecting with these concepts. Florence's most revolutionary discovery was that money doesn't flow into your life through random luck or coincidence. This revelation completely transforms the paradigm most people operate from. Money actually responds, with absolute precision, to spiritual orders issued from a heightened state of consciousness that most have never accessed. Think of it as operating on a frequency that most radio receivers aren't tuned to pick up. Behind the scenes of our material reality, there exists an intelligence that recognizes and responds to these spiritual commands. Your financial blueprint isn't random. It's a direct reflection of the orders you've been unconsciously broadcasting. The journey toward prosperity begins when you take conscious control of this broadcasting system. What's truly fascinating is the mechanism through which this works. Every single word that leaves your lips is actually functioning as a cosmic decree. When you say, "I can't afford that," or "money is always tight for me," you're not merely describing your situation. You're issuing a direct order to the universe that must manifest in your physical reality according to metaphysical law. This isn't wishful thinking or manifestation theory. It's the revelation of how the system was designed to operate from the beginning. The impact of understanding this principle is immediate and profound. Your vocabulary around money becomes a powerful tool for transformation rather than an unconscious saboteur of your dreams. I've witnessed countless mindset shifts in people who simply became aware of the words they were using about their financial situation. One client, a talented artist who had struggled for years, noticed she constantly said, "I'm not good with money," whenever the subject arose. The moment she recognized this pattern and began consciously issuing new decrees, "I am a magnet for prosperity," and "money flows to me easily," her entire financial landscape began shifting. The catalyst wasn't changing her actions first, but changing the spiritual orders she was issuing to the universe. Her decisions, opportunities, and results all transformed as a natural consequence of this fundamental shift. The awakening to this truth creates ripples that touch every aspect of your prosperity journey. What most people don't realize is that the universe takes your words literally. There's no filter that says, "Oh, they don't really mean that." The cosmic forces simply respond to what you decree with absolute faithfulness. This is why being intentional with your language becomes so crucial. Once you understand the mechanics of prosperity, join our abundance community by subscribing to this channel. When you subscribe, you're not just following content. You're connecting with thousands of conscious creators who are actively transforming their financial reality using these divine principles. The hidden truth that Florence uncovered is that you've always been creating your financial reality. You just might not have been doing it consciously. When you step into awareness of this process, You move from being a passive participant in your financial story to becoming its conscious author. If you're beginning to see how powerful your words truly are, type conscious creator in the comments. I'd love to know this wisdom is landing with you. Here's where the transformation in your life truly begins. Most of humanity has been unknowingly sabotaging their own prosperity through unconscious orders of scarcity and limitation. Every time you've thought or said, "I don't have enough," or "I can't afford that," you've been issuing a powerful decree that the universe faithfully fulfills. This is the hidden mechanism behind why financial struggles seem to persist or even repeat in predictable patterns. Think about the revelation this represents. Your financial difficulties weren't random bad luck. They were the direct manifestation of unconscious commands you've been broadcasting. Behind every statement of lack is a powerful creative force that doesn't judge your words, but simply acts on them with perfect precision. The universe doesn't decide if your orders of limitation are good or bad. It simply says, "Your wish is my command." This insight explains why so many well-intentioned efforts to improve finances often fall short. People change their actions without addressing the underlying spiritual commands they're issuing. It's like planting new seeds while simultaneously spraying weed killer on the soil. The breakthrough comes when you recognize and revolutionize these unconscious patterns. But here's where Florence's wisdom becomes truly liberating. Your divine heritage is not poverty or constant financial struggle. This awakening can completely reshape your identity and the decisions that flow from it. Your birthright, your true inheritance, is unlimited abundance and prosperity that flows like a powerful, unceasing river into your life. This isn't just positive thinking. It's the recognition of a fundamental truth about your spiritual DNA. You were designed as an extension of infinite abundance. The journey toward financial freedom isn't about becoming something new. It's about returning to your original design. It's like a fish that's been flopping around on dry land, suddenly remembering it was created to swim in an unlimited ocean. When this revelation anchors in your consciousness, everything shifts. The strategies that once seemed difficult become natural expressions of your abundant identity. The opportunities that once seemed out of reach suddenly appear within your grasp. The path that once seemed arduous becomes a joyful unfolding of what was always meant to be yours. I've witnessed people completely transform their relationship with money once they embrace this truth. One particular client had struggled with debt for decades. The moment she recognized that scarcity wasn't her heritage, but a false identity she'd accidentally embraced, her entire approach to money shifted. Within months, solutions appeared that had been invisible to her before this mindset revolution. The impact of claiming your true inheritance reverberates through every financial decision, creating a completely new trajectory. You begin operating from abundance rather than striving toward it, and this subtle shift changes everything. If you're feeling a deep resonance with this truth about your divine inheritance, write "Claiming My Abundance" in the comments below. Now, let's explore what might be Florence's most profound revelation of all. Money itself, this energy that so many struggle with and stress over, is actually completely obedient and submissive in nature. It waits patiently for your conscious orders, ready to manifest in your experience the moment you command it from your place of spiritual authority. This completely inverts the relationship most people have with money, where they feel at its mercy rather than recognizing it as responsive to their command. This revelation transforms your entire financial journey. When you truly internalize that money isn't some elusive force that randomly favors some while avoiding others, you experience an awakening that changes everything. Money is simply energy waiting for clear direction from someone who understands their divine authority to direct it. Behind the scenes of what appears to be random financial fortune or misfortune is this consistent spiritual law in operation. Those who seem lucky with money have often unconsciously aligned with this principle, while those who struggle are unknowingly commanding money to stay away through their consciousness. However, and this is absolutely crucial, Your order must be issued from an elevated state of consciousness. This is where so many prosperity teachings fall short. You can't command money from a place of desperation, anxiety, or unworthiness. The vibratory frequency that activates this principle is one of divine worthiness and the unshakable certainty that you are already manifested. Abundance. Think of it like trying to tune a radio to a specific station. If you're not on the right frequency, you won't receive the broadcast, no matter how much you want to. Similarly, your commands to the universe must come from the frequency of already having what you desire, not wanting, needing, or lacking it. This is the catalyst for true financial transformation. When you elevate your consciousness to this frequency of divine worthiness, you're no longer begging the universe for prosperity. You're simply directing energy that already recognizes you as its master. The shift is subtle, but revolutionary. I've observed this principle at work countless times. One remarkable example was a client who had been working 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Through consistent practice, she elevated her consciousness to this frequency of divine worthiness. Without changing her external actions initially, opportunities began appearing in her life. A promotion, an unexpected refund, a perfect side business opportunity. The catalyst wasn't working harder. It was commanding from this elevated state. The impact of this understanding creates a complete paradigm shift in how you approach money. You move from being a hopeful recipient to a confident director. Your decisions, your language, and your expectations all align with this new understanding of your relationship with abundance. If you're feeling this resonance with your spiritual authority over money, write divine command in the comments. I'd love to know this principle is illuminating your path. Let me share a crucial insight that Florence uncovered about this process. When you attempt to order the universe from a place of fear, desperation, or need, you're essentially contaminating your decree with low-frequency emotions that render it ineffective. Think of it like trying to transmit a clear radio signal through static interference. The message becomes distorted and unintelligible to the receiving end. This revelation explains why sometimes even when people use the right words or affirmations, they don't see results. The emotional frequency behind their commands is broadcasting a contradictory message. It's like saying, "I am abundant," while your entire energetic system is vibrating with the message, "I'm terrified about paying my bills." The universe responds not just to your words, but to the entire vibrational package you're sending out. The transformation begins when you recognize these emotional patterns and learn to elevate beyond them before issuing your commands. This isn't about denying your current circumstances, but about accessing a higher perspective, a vantage point from which you can see beyond temporary conditions to the infinite resources available to you. This perspective shift is the gateway to authentic manifestation. Now let me share what I believe is the most practical revelation in Florence's entire body of work. The fundamental difference between someone living in perpetual scarcity and someone experiencing constant abundance isn't their education level, their connections, or even their luck. It's the precision of their spiritual decrees. This insight completely democratizes prosperity. You don't need special advantages to transform your financial reality. You need precision in how you communicate with the universe. Think about the implications of this hidden truth. 2 people with identical external circumstances can experience radically different financial realities based solely on the precision of their spiritual commands. One continues to struggle while the other thrives, not because of some cosmic favoritism, but because of this principle in action. The journey toward mastering this precision is where most people experience their breakthrough moment. It's not just about positive thinking or generic affirmations. It's about learning to formulate spiritual decrees with the same exactness you would use when programming a sophisticated computer. Every word matters. Every emotion attached to those words matters. Every assumption underlying your commands matters. I've witnessed remarkable transformations when people simply adjusted the precision of their decrees. One client had been using prosperity affirmations for years with minimal results. When we refined her commands to eliminate the subtle contradictions and imprecisions, her manifestations accelerated dramatically. The impact wasn't from working harder, but from communicating more clearly with the universal forces. Let's explore exactly how to formulate these precise spiritual decrees that the universe cannot resist. The formula Florence discovered has specific components that, when combined correctly, create an irresistible command structure that bypasses resistance and activates immediate response. If this concept of precision in your spiritual decrees resonates with you, write "divine precision" in the comments below. The formula, Florence Scovel, Shinn developed, begins with what she called divine identification. This is the foundation upon which everything else rests. Before ordering anything from the universe, before even attempting to manifest a single dollar, you must remember who you truly are. Not a limited human being struggling to make ends meet, but a divine being temporarily experiencing human form. This identity shift isn't just positive psychology. It's a fundamental recalibration of your entire relationship with existence. When you operate from human identification, you're essentially cutting yourself off from the infinite resources of the universe. It's like having unlimited access to your bank account, but forgetting your password and trying to function on pocket change. The awakening begins when you consciously step into your divine identity before issuing any command to the universe. This mental and spiritual reset creates an energetic alignment that makes your words exponentially more powerful. Think about the difference between an employee asking for something versus the CEO commanding it. The authority behind the words changes everything about how they're received and acted upon. This revelation transformed my own journey profoundly. For years, I had been affirming prosperity while still unconsciously identifying as someone who struggled with money. The breakthrough came when I began consciously stepping into my divine identity first, then speaking from that elevated awareness. The results weren't just incremental, they were revolutionary. From this divine identification flows the most powerful abundance affirmation possible. I am divine abundance manifested. Notice the precise language here. This isn't expressing a hope or wish for the future. It's not "I want to be abundant," or even "I will be abundant someday." It's a declaration of spiritual fact in the present moment, a recognition of what already is, rather than a plea for what might be. When you state, "I am divine abundance," manifested, you're aligning your consciousness with the frequency of universal prosperity. You're not trying to attract abundance from somewhere outside yourself. You're acknowledging the abundance that is your very essence. This subtle but profound distinction changes everything about how the universe responds to your words. The illumination that comes from understanding this principle often creates immediate shifts in a person's financial landscape. One particular client had been struggling financially for decades, despite working incredibly hard. The moment she began practicing divine identification before making any prosperity statements, opportunities began appearing that had been invisible to her before this mindset revolution. This transformation in your self-concept ripples through every aspect of your prosperity journey. Your decisions become aligned with abundance rather than scarcity. Your perception sharpens to recognize opportunities that were always present, but previously invisible to you. Your entire relationship with the material world shifts from one of struggle to one of natural, effortless flow. Let's explore the exact process Florence discovered for stepping fully into this divine identity before issuing your commands to the universe. If you're resonating with this concept of divine identification, write "I am divine abundance" in the comments below. The second crucial component of Florence's formula is what she called divine specificity. The universe, in all its infinite intelligence, loves absolute clarity. When you issue vague orders like "I want more money" or "I need financial abundance," you're essentially confusing the quantum field. It's like walking into a restaurant and telling the server "I want food" without specifying what dish you'd like. The kitchen doesn't know how to fulfill such an ambiguous request. This revelation transforms how you communicate with the universal forces. You must be as specific in your spiritual orders as you would be when placing an order at a celestial restaurant. Instead of "I want more money," you might say, "I command $5,000 to flow into my life." This precision creates a clear template for manifestation that the universe can respond to with exactness. Behind the scenes of every powerful manifestation is this principle of divine specificity at work. Those who seem lucky with money have often unconsciously mastered this precision in their thoughts and words. The journey toward financial transformation accelerates dramatically when you refine the exactness of your commands. I've witnessed remarkable mindset shifts when people apply this principle. One client had been using general prosperity affirmations for years with minimal results. When she began specifying exact amounts and time frames in her declarations, her entire financial reality began shifting within weeks. The impact wasn't from changing her actions, but from bringing crystal clarity to her spiritual commands. Now, here's a critical revelation that many prosperity teachings miss entirely. Never add conditional phrases like, "if it's divine will," or "if it's best for me," to your decree. These statements might seem humble or spiritual, but they actually nullify your order by introducing doubt and conditioning. When you add these qualifiers, you're essentially telling the universe, "I'm not sure if I should have this," or "I don't fully trust my own desires." This understanding illuminates why some spiritual people struggle financially despite their devotion. By constantly deferring to an external will rather than recognizing the divinity within them, they're unknowingly sabotaging their own commands. When you issue orders from your divine identity, your will and the divine will are already perfectly aligned. There is no separation that needs to be bridged with conditional language. The transformation begins when you recognize that your authentic desires, when arising from your divine identity, are already in perfect harmony with the highest good. You don't need to add qualifiers that undermine your authority. This revelation often creates an immediate shift in how people approach their manifestations, removing the unconscious barriers they've been placing in their own path. Let's explore how adding a specific time frame to your spiritual orders creates an acceleration effect that most people never experience in their manifestation practice. If these insights about divine specificity are illuminating your understanding, write crystal clear commands in the comments. The third essential element of Florence's formula is establishing a defined time frame for your manifestation. When you order from the universe without a specific deadline, you're essentially sending a message that timing isn't important to you. The universe responds much more quickly and precisely when you establish clear parameters for when you expect to receive your manifestation. This revelation transforms the effectiveness of your spiritual commands. When you add "before Sunday" or any specific date to your decree, you're demonstrating your absolute faith in divine power to manifest according to your deadline. This isn't about pressuring the universe. It's about expressing your unwavering confidence in its ability to deliver with perfect timing. Behind the scenes of every rapid manifestation is this principle at work. Those who experience seemingly instant results, often unknowingly, include this temporal precision in their intentions. The transformation in your manifestation practice becomes evident when you start incorporating specific time frames in all your prosperity declarations. I recall working with a client who had been attempting to manifest a particular sum for months without success. When she added a clear deadline to her declarations, before the end of this month, her entire experience shifted. The universe responded to this precision with remarkable synchronicity, bringing her exactly what she'd requested just days before her deadline. The catalyst wasn't changing what she wanted, but when she expected to receive it. Now let me share what might be the most powerful catalyst in the entire manifestation journey: anticipated gratitude. This is the secret ingredient that separates those who manifest consistently from those who struggle repeatedly. You must thank the universe for the money before physically seeing it in your experience. This anticipatory gratitude isn't just positive thinking. It's a profound spiritual principle that accelerates manifestation by acknowledging what your spiritual eye already perceives as complete. When you thank the universe for money that hasn't yet appeared in your physical reality, you're essentially operating from a higher dimension of consciousness where time is non-linear and your manifestation is already complete. The illumination that comes from practicing this principle often creates immediate shifts in your prosperity experience. By expressing genuine gratitude for what you've commanded before seeing physical evidence, you're demonstrating unshakable faith in the universal laws. This faith becomes the bridge between the invisible realm where all possibilities exist and your tangible, physical reality. I've observed remarkable mindset revolutions when people embrace this practice of anticipatory gratitude. One client had been stuck in a pattern of almost manifestations. Things would come close, but never quite materialize. When she began practicing heartfelt gratitude for her financial desires as if they had already manifested, her entire reality shifted within weeks. The impact of this simple yet profound adjustment created a momentum that transformed her relationship with prosperity. Let's explore how combining all these elements creates a complete formula for issuing commands that the universe cannot resist. If you're discovering the power of anticipatory gratitude, write "grateful now" in the comments below. When we bring all these elements together, we arrive at Florence's complete formula for commanding prosperity. I am divine abundance manifested. I order specific amount to flow into my life before Sunday in perfect ways under divine grace. Thank you, universe. It is done. This precise sequence creates an unstoppable decree that the universe must fulfill. Let's examine each component of this powerful formula. It, too, begins with divine identification. I am divine abundance manifested, establishing your true spiritual identity before making any request. Then it moves to the specific command, I order specific amount, creating absolute clarity about what you're manifesting. The time frame, before Sunday, demonstrates your faith in divine timing. In perfect ways under divine grace allows the universe to orchestrate the ideal channels for your manifestation without limiting how it might arrive. Finally, thank you, universe, it is done. Expresses that anticipatory gratitude that seals your decree as complete in the spiritual realm before it appears in the physical. The revelation in this formula is its perfect balance of authority and receptivity. You're commanding with absolute certainty while simultaneously trusting the intelligence of the universe to fulfill your order in the most harmonious way possible. This creates a channel for manifestation that bypasses resistance and accelerates results. Now, let me share what might be Florence's most profound discovery about this entire process. There is a sacred moment each day when the veil between physical and spiritual worlds becomes significantly thinner, a time when your words acquire exponentially multiplied power to manifest financial miracles. This concept of sacred timing isn't just spiritual theory. It's based on the natural rhythms and cycles that govern all energy in the universe. During this special window, your spiritual decrees carry a vibrational potency that can compress months of manifestation work into days or even hours. It's like discovering a secret passage that allows you to bypass the normal limitations of time and space in your manifestation journey. The impact of understanding and utilizing these sacred moments creates a complete transformation in how quickly your financial reality shifts. Those who seem to manifest overnight success have often unknowingly aligned with these powerful temporal gateways. The EI's illumination that comes from consciously working with these sacred times often creates immediate breakthroughs in people's prosperity experience. I've witnessed remarkable shifts when people begin issuing their commands during these optimal windows. One client who had struggled for years with financial limitations began experiencing synchronicities and opportunities within days of implementing this timing principle. The catalyst wasn't changing what she was declaring, but when she was declaring it. Let me share exactly what Florence discovered about the optimal moment each day to issue your cosmic orders, and the specific ritual that maximizes the power of this sacred time. If you're feeling a resonance with this complete formula for commanding prosperity, write "Command accepted" in the comments below. Florence discovered that the most powerful moment to issue your cosmic order happens during the first few minutes after waking. In these precious moments, your conscious mind hasn't yet become contaminated by daily worries, and your connection to Divine Source remains pure and crystal clear. This window of opportunity exists in a liminal state, a threshold between dreaming and waking, where the veil between dimensions is naturally thinner. During this sacred time, your subconscious mind remains extraordinarily receptive to new programming, and the quantum field responds with heightened sensitivity to your spiritual decrees. This revelation transforms your entire approach to manifestation. Instead of randomly declaring prosperity throughout your day, you concentrate your power in this optimal window when manifestation requires the least effort and produces the most profound results. The awakening moment ritual Florence developed begins immediately upon opening your eyes. Before checking your phone, before engaging with the external world in any way, place your hands over your heart center and take 3 deep, intentional breaths. With each inhale and exhale, you're creating a sacred space within your being, a temple where your divinity can express itself without interference from worldly concerns. This breathing ritual isn't just symbolic. It physiologically shifts your nervous system from any remnants of sleep into a state of relaxed alertness that's optimal for commanding the universe. The journey toward financial transformation begins with these seemingly simple but energetically powerful moments at dawn. Now comes what many find most challenging, but what Florence considered non-negotiable. Speaking your cosmic order with absolute conviction, not in whispers, not with concern about who might overhear you, but with the unshakable authority of someone who knows their divine power. The universe doesn't respond to timidity or insecurity. It responds only to the vibration of unwavering certainty. This revelation illuminates why many prosperity affirmations fail to produce results. When spoken with hesitation or doubt, even the most perfectly worded decree loses its power. The transformation begins when you allow yourself to speak as the divine being you truly are, with the full authority that comes from that identity. I've witnessed remarkable breakthroughs when people embrace this principle of divine authority in their speaking. One client had been whispering her prosperity declarations for years, afraid her roommates might overhear. The moment she began declaring with full voice and conviction, her entire prosperity experience shifted, dramatically. The catalyst wasn't changing her words, but embodying the authority behind them. Behind the scenes of every powerful manifestation is this principle at work. Those who manifest with seeming ease have often mastered this ability to speak with divine authority, not from ego or arrogance, but from the genuine recognition of their spiritual sovereignty. This mindset revolution creates ripples that impact every aspect of your prosperity journey. Let me share the specific physical gesture. Florence discovered that seals your cosmic decree and dramatically accelerates its manifestation. This gesture serves as an energetic signature that tells the universe your command is complete and ready for immediate processing. If you're recognizing the importance of speaking your truth with divine authority, write "Speaking my power" in the comments below. After speaking your cosmic order with divine authority, Florence discovered that you must seal your decree with a specific physical action. This isn't just symbolic. It's an energetic activation that represents your total faith in the manifestation process. You might clap your hands 3 times, touch your heart center, and then extend your arms toward the sky, or create any personal gesture that feels like a celebration of what you've already received. This physical sealing creates a bridge between the invisible realm where your decree originates and the material world where it must manifest. It's like pressing the send button on your cosmic order, confirming to the universe that your command is complete and ready for processing. The journey from invisible to visible accelerates dramatically when you include this embodied component in your prosperity practice. The transformation I've witnessed in clients who incorporate this physical sealing is remarkable. One woman who had been practicing prosperity declarations for years without consistent results experienced an immediate shift when she began sealing her morning declarations with 3 confident claps. Within weeks, unexpected opportunities appeared that matched exactly what she had been commanding. The catalyst wasn't changing her words, but adding this physical dimension to her practice. Now, here's what Florence considered the most crucial element for maintaining your prosperity flow throughout the day. After your morning declaration and sealing gesture, you must maintain a state of joyful expectation, not anxiety, not desperate checking for results, but genuine, jubilant expectancy. This is the emotional frequency that keeps your manifestation in active processing rather than suspended animation. Think of a child who's been promised the most amazing gift in the world. They don't worry about how it will arrive or whether it's actually coming. They simply bubble with excited anticipation, absolutely certain their gift is on its way. This innocent certainty is exactly the emotional state that accelerates your manifestations most powerfully. This revelation illuminates why some people see immediate results while others wait endlessly for their prosperity to manifest. When you slip into doubt, anxiety, or obsessive checking throughout your day, you're essentially sending mixed signals to the universe, commanding abundance in the morning, but then broadcasting uncertainty all day long. The awakening comes when you maintain energetic consistency between your morning decree and your daily emotional state. Behind the scenes of every rapid manifestation is this principle of joyful expectation at work. Those who manifest with seeming ease have mastered this emotional frequency, not as a technique, but as a natural expression of their absolute faith in universal laws. This mindset revolution creates an energetic momentum that makes your prosperity unstoppable. Let me share how the universe begins sending immediate confirmation signs that your order has been received and is being processed. These divine signals appear within hours of your decree when you're operating at the optimal frequency. If you've experienced that feeling of joyful certainty about something manifesting, write "joyfully expecting" in the comments below. Once you've established this state of joyful expectation, something remarkable begins to happen. The universe immediately starts sending confirmation signs that your order has been received and is actively being processed. These signs aren't random coincidences. They're deliberate communications from the intelligent field that's orchestrating your manifestation. You might suddenly find coins in unexpected places, perhaps a dollar bill on an empty sidewalk or spare change in a coat pocket you thought was empty. You could receive calls or messages about financial opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. Many people report seeing repeated numbers like 111, 222, or 555 on clocks, license plates, or receipts at precisely the moment they're thinking about their prosperity decree. These synchronicities aren't just interesting curiosities. They're what Florence called divine winks from the universe. They're confirmation that your energetic broadcast has been received clearly and that forces beyond your conscious awareness are already working to fulfill your command. The revelation here is that manifestation is a two-way conversation, not a one-sided request sent into the void. What most people don't realize is how crucial your response to these signs becomes in the manifestation process. Each time you receive one of these divine winks, Florence taught that you must immediately express gratitude. Thank you, universe, for confirming my abundance is on its way. This acknowledgement doesn't just feel good. It actively strengthens the channel between your decree and its physical manifestation. This gratitude creates an energetic feedback loop that accelerates your prosperity. It's like establishing a stronger connection on a phone call that was previously breaking up. The transformation I've witnessed in people who implement this practice is remarkable. One client who began consciously looking for and acknowledging these signs experienced a dramatic acceleration in her manifestations. What had previously taken months now appeared in days. Behind the scenes of every powerful prosperity journey is this ongoing dialogue with the universe through signs and grateful acknowledgement. The illumination comes when you recognize these seemingly small moments as significant communications in your manifestation process rather than dismissing them as coincidences. I've observed this principle transforming people's entire relationship with prosperity. When you begin actively looking for and appreciating these divine winks, you're essentially training your perception to notice the abundance that's already flowing toward you. This perceptual shift creates a momentum that makes your manifestations increasingly visible. Now let me share Florence's discoveries about the secret channels through which abundance actually flows into your life once you've issued your prosperity decree. These channels often surprise even the most dedicated manifestation practitioners because they appear in forms most people have been conditioned to overlook. If you've been noticing these divine winks appearing in your own life, write "seeing the signs" in the comments below. Once you've established this powerful connection with the universe through your prosperity decrees, something remarkable begins to unfold. The universe immediately activates secret abundance channels that most people never recognize or utilize. What's fascinating about this process is that prosperity rarely flows to you from the sources you might expect. In fact, the most powerful manifestations often arrive from completely unexpected directions. This revelation transforms how you perceive the events unfolding in your daily life. Instead of looking only toward obvious channels for financial increase, like raises, bonuses, or conventional investments, you begin recognizing the multitude of unconventional pathways through which abundance is constantly attempting to reach you. Florence discovered that the first and perhaps most misunderstood of these secret channels is what she called disguised opportunities. These are situations that initially appear as problems, challenges, or even inconveniences, but are actually divine gateways to manifestation when recognized properly. Behind what looks like an obstacle often hides your breakthrough. Consider how this insight illuminates the journey toward financial transformation. That unexpected bill might lead you to discover a talent you can monetize. The client who cancels might create space for a more profitable opportunity. Even a job loss could be the catalyst that propels you toward your true calling and greater abundance. The awakening begins when you shift your perception to recognize these disguised opportunities for what they truly are. Most people miss these channels completely because they're looking for abundance only in forms that match their preconceived expectations. This perceptual blindness keeps them disconnected from the very prosperity they're commanding into existence. I've witnessed remarkable mindset revolutions when people embrace this principle. One client experienced a car breakdown that initially seemed like a financial setback. Because she understood this concept of disguised opportunities, she remained in a state of curious openness rather than frustration. While waiting for the tow truck, she struck up a conversation with another stranded driver who ended up becoming a major client in her business, bringing in 10 times what the car repair cost. The transformation isn't about denying the challenge of these situations, but about maintaining awareness that they may contain hidden treasures. When you approach apparent problems with the question, "How might this actually be abundance in disguise?" you activate a level of perception that most people never access. This shift represents a fundamental revolution in how you navigate your prosperity journey. Instead of resisting or lamenting difficulties, you begin exploring them with genuine curiosity, always alert to the possibility that what appears as an obstacle might actually be a gateway to your next level of abundance. Now let me share Florence's insights about the second secret channel through which abundance flows, one that operates through other people in ways that often surprise even the most dedicated prosperity students. If you're starting to recognize how challenges in your life might actually be disguised opportunities, write "opportunity in disguise" in the comments below. The second secret channel that Florence uncovered is what she called messenger people. This revelation transforms how you perceive the role of others in your prosperity journey. The universe frequently uses other people as direct instruments to manifest the abundance you've commanded. That person who suddenly reaches out to repay a loan you'd almost forgotten about, the client who appears seemingly out of nowhere with the perfect project, or the friend who shares an opportunity that aligns perfectly with your skills. These aren't random coincidences, but deliberate celestial orchestrations. What's fascinating about this channel is that the people themselves often have no conscious awareness they're serving as divine messengers in your prosperity story. Behind the scenes, the intelligent universe is coordinating countless moving pieces to bring exactly what you've commanded into your experience through human connections and relationships. This understanding illuminates why maintaining a positive, appreciative attitude toward everyone you encounter becomes so crucial in your manifestation practice. Any person could potentially be the vessel through which your prosperity flows. The transformation in your abundance experience accelerates dramatically when you begin recognizing and honoring these human channels. I want to emphasize something critical that Florence discovered. You must never try to manipulate or force people to be your abundance channels. The universe orchestrates these connections naturally and perfectly when you maintain the proper spiritual frequency. Your role isn't to control the process, but to remain receptive and grateful to all who cross your path, recognizing each as a potential instrument of divine abundance. Now, the third secret channel might surprise you because it's often hiding in plain sight. Florence called this channel hidden resources, money or valuable assets you already possess but have overlooked or forgotten. After issuing your prosperity decree, you might suddenly remember a loan you made that can now be recovered. You could discover items of value in your home that can be sold. Some people even find forgotten bank accounts or investments that had slipped from memory. This revelation explains why sometimes your manifestation appears almost instantly. The resources were already in your possession, but had remained invisible until your prosperity consciousness activated this channel of awareness. The journey toward financial transformation often begins with recognizing what you already have rather than waiting for completely new resources to appear. I've witnessed remarkable awakenings when people embrace this principle. One client was struggling financially when she remembered an old retirement account from a previous job she'd completely forgotten. Another found valuable collectibles in storage that, when sold, provided exactly the amount she'd been commanding. The catalyst wasn't bringing in something new, but recognizing the value already present in their experience. Let me share Florence's insights about the fourth and perhaps most extraordinary channel through which abundance flows. One that not only brings you what you've commanded, but multiplies it beyond your original decree. If you've experienced these hidden resources appearing in your life after setting clear intentions, write "Discovering My Resources" in the comments below. The fourth secret channel Florence discovered is what she called multiplied blessings. This revelation transforms everything about how abundance manifests in your life. When you order the universe with absolute faith, something extraordinary happens. You don't just receive exactly what you requested, but money begins multiplying in unexpected and often astonishing ways. This principle explains why some people don't just experience financial stability, but extraordinary abundance that continues expanding. A small business you start suddenly attracts more clients than anticipated. An investment you make generates returns that far exceed market averages. You receive unexpected bonuses or opportunities that weren't part of your original prosperity. Vision. This multiplication effect isn't random good fortune. It's the natural expression of universal laws operating at their highest capacity. When you command from complete alignment with your divine identity, you create an energetic vortex that continues attracting resources even beyond your specific request. The transformation in your prosperity experience becomes exponential rather than incremental. Now here's the critical revelation that explains why so many people sabotage their financial breakthroughs. When money begins flowing into their lives, they experience an unexpected reaction: fear. They unconsciously block their abundance channels out of deeply ingrained limiting beliefs about prosperity. They question whether they truly deserve such financial ease. They worry about losing what they've received rather than trusting that more is on the way. This pattern of self-sabotage explains why many people experience brief financial windfalls followed by returns to scarcity. The mindset revolution hasn't fully occurred, creating a ceiling on their prosperity experience. Behind the scenes of these apparent financial setbacks is this principle at work, not a failure of universal laws, but an unconscious resistance to fully embodying abundance. Florence discovered that this self-sabotage often manifests in subtle ways. People make impulsive financial decisions from a place of scarcity rather than wisdom. They hide their prosperity from others out of guilt or fear of judgment. They create unnecessary financial emergencies that drain their resources. These behaviors aren't random. They're unconscious attempts to return to the familiar territory of financial struggle. The illumination comes when you recognize these patterns within yourself. The journey towards sustainable abundance requires constant vigilance against these forms of self-sabotage. Every time money flows into your life, you face a choice point. Will you embrace this prosperity with gratitude and expectancy for more, or will you contract in fear and doubt? I've witnessed remarkable transformations when people become aware of these self-sabotaging tendencies. One client who had manifested a significant financial windfall caught herself immediately thinking, "This won't last," or "I don't deserve this." By consciously replacing these thoughts with declarations of worthiness and gratitude, she maintained and expanded her prosperity rather than unconsciously repelling it. Now, let me share Florence's profound wisdom about what to do when money begins flowing into your life. The exact practices that ensure your prosperity not only arrives, but continues expanding exponentially. If you've noticed yourself sometimes feeling uncomfortable or unworthy when good things come your way, write "breaking through limits" in the comments below. Florence revealed another profound truth about prosperity that transforms how we interact with money. Money is fundamentally energy, not just paper or numbers in an account. And like all energy in the universe, it follows specific laws, one of which is that energy must remain in motion to maintain its power. When money energy becomes stagnant, it transforms into scarcity almost automatically. This revelation illuminates why some people receive financial windfalls only to find themselves back in lack shortly afterward. They're treating money as something to hold on to tightly, rather than a current that must flow continuously. The mindset revolution occurs when you recognize that money is not meant to be hoarded, but circulated with intention and appreciation. When abundance flows into your life, Florence discovered that your only true responsibility is twofold: to thank and to circulate. This simple practice creates a perpetual cycle of prosperity that continues expanding rather than contracting. Each time you receive, you express genuine gratitude to the universal source, and then you consciously keep a portion of that energy moving through purposeful circulation. Behind the scenes of every abundant life is this principle in constant operation. Those who seem to attract money effortlessly understand, either consciously or intuitively, that their role is to be a channel for prosperity, not its final destination. The transformation in your financial experience becomes immediate when you shift from trying to accumulate and hold to gracefully receiving and circulating. I've witnessed remarkable awakenings when people embrace this principle. One client who had struggled for years with an on-again, off-again relationship with prosperity began consciously circulating a portion of everything she received. Within months, her income had tripled as she aligned with this natural law of energy flow. The catalyst wasn't working more hours, but understanding the energetic mechanics of abundance. Now let me share what Florence considered the single most powerful action you can take when receiving money: immediately giving a portion as a gratitude offering. This isn't about religious tithing or obligation. It's about energetic alignment with universal principles of circulation. The amount matters far less than the conscious act itself. This offering can be as simple as giving 10% of any amount you receive, 1% if that feels more comfortable, or even just a few dollars. What's crucial is the consciousness behind the action. You're actively recognizing yourself as a channel for abundance rather than its ultimate destination. This shifts your entire relationship with prosperity from one of grasping to one of flowing. The illumination that comes from this practice often creates immediate shifts in people's financial reality. By consciously creating space through circulation, you're essentially telling the universe, I trust in the continuous flow of abundance. I don't need to hoard what comes to me because I know more is always on its way. This declaration of faith, embodied through action, rather than just words, creates a magnetic force that continues attracting prosperity to you. What's truly fascinating is how this practice transforms not just your financial reality, but your entire relationship with giving. What once might have felt like sacrifice becomes a joyful participation in universal flow, a celebration of abundance rather than a reluctant parting with resources. If you've experienced the power of consciously circulating money energy in your life, write "abundance flows" in the comments below. Now, Florence uncovered something truly fascinating about the prosperity journey that few teachers ever discuss. When you begin activating these abundance channels and money starts flowing into your life, something unexpected happens. You automatically become a target for energies that seek to block your prosperity. This isn't meant to create fear, but to prepare you with awareness. Florence deeply understood that abundance must not only be manifested, but also protected from negative interference. This revelation explains why many people experience sudden financial setbacks just when their prosperity seems to be gaining momentum. Behind the scenes of these apparent bad luck episodes is often an energetic vulnerability they never recognized or addressed. The transformation in your financial journey becomes sustainable when you implement Florence's protection protocols alongside your manifestation practices. The sources of this interference might surprise you. They can come from well-meaning friends or family who unconsciously project their own financial limitations onto your expanding abundance. Comments like, "That can't last," or "Be careful, it might be a scam," are direct energetic attacks on your prosperity frequency that can destabilize your manifestations if you're not properly protected. Florence developed a powerful practice to create an impenetrable shield around your prosperity consciousness. Each morning, immediately after issuing your cosmic order, take a moment to visualize a radiant golden light emanating from your heart center and expanding outward to form a complete sphere of protection around your entire being. This isn't just positive thinking. It's establishing an energetic boundary that automatically repels any scarcity vibrations, envy, or negativity directed toward your financial well-being. As you visualize this golden shield, declare with absolute authority, "My abundance is protected by the invincible light of the Creator. No negative force can touch my prosperity. Only blessings can reach me." This declaration programs your energetic field to automatically reject any interference that might sabotage your financial breakthroughs. The illumination that comes from implementing this protection practice creates immediate stability in your manifestation journey. One client who had experienced repeated cycles of financial gain, followed by mysterious losses, began creating this golden shield daily. Within weeks, her prosperity not only stabilized, but began expanding consistently without the previous pattern of setbacks. The catalyst wasn't changing her manifestation technique, but adding this crucial protection element. What's particularly powerful about this practice is how it transforms your entire relationship with financial energy. Rather than feeling vulnerable or anxious about your prosperity, you develop a profound sense of security, a certainty that your abundance is divinely protected and sustainable. This inner security becomes a magnetic force that continues attracting more prosperity while naturally repelling anything that doesn't align with your highest financial good. This protection isn't just about defending against external influences. Florence discovered that often the most dangerous threats to our prosperity come from within, from our own subconscious programming and limiting beliefs that have been operating beneath our awareness for decades. If you've ever felt that something was mysteriously blocking your financial breakthroughs, write "protected prosperity" in the comments below. Florence discovered that years of scarcity programming doesn't instantly disappear when you begin manifesting abundance. Your subconscious mind, that powerful keeper of all your deeply ingrained patterns, can actively sabotage your prosperity through impulse spending, risky investments, or simply causing you to forget the very practices that created your initial abundance. 2. Protect yourself from this internal sabotage. Florence developed a remarkable technique she called nighttime reprogramming. This practice harnesses the powerful twilight state between wakefulness and sleep, when your subconscious mind becomes exceptionally receptive to new programming. Each night before sleeping, speak directly to your subconscious as if addressing a separate entity. Dear subconscious, I order that while I sleep, all scarcity programming be transmuted into abundance. Consciousness. Upon waking, only prosperous thoughts will occupy my mind. This revolutionary practice works at the deepest levels of your being, rewiring neural pathways that have been reinforcing limitation for decades. The transformation occurs during sleep, when your conscious mind, with all its doubts and resistance, steps aside, allowing profound recalibration to take place effortlessly. This inner alignment creates a foundation of prosperity consciousness that remains stable even amid external challenges. I've witnessed remarkable awakenings when people implement this nighttime reprogramming consistently. One client who had struggled with persistent financial anxiety despite increasing income began addressing her subconscious each night. Within weeks, she noticed her entire relationship with money shifting. Impulse spending disappeared, investment decisions became clearer, and the constant worry about losing it all simply dissolved. The catalyst wasn't changing her external circumstances, but reprogramming the internal patterns that had been operating beneath her awareness. Now, Florence uncovered something truly fascinating about the prosperity journey that many teachers overlook entirely. There exist what she called astral negative influences, energy patterns attracted to the light of growing prosperity like moths to a flame. These influences manifest as sudden financial emergencies, too good to be true opportunities that require immediate action, or unexpected crises that threaten your security. The most powerful shield against these influences isn't complex rituals or protective talismans. It's maintaining unwavering faith in infinite divine provision. When facing any situation that threatens your financial peace, Florence taught immediately declaring, I am divine abundance. My source is infinite and inexhaustible. This apparent situation now transforms into an even greater blessing. This declaration instantly transmutes any negative influence into an opportunity for the universe to demonstrate its limitless power. The illumination that comes from understanding this principle creates remarkable stability in your prosperity journey. Rather than being thrown into fear by financial challenges, you recognize them as opportunities for even greater abundance to manifest. This faith-based protection operates at a level beyond mere positive thinking. It's activating a spiritual law that ensures those who maintain complete trust in divine provision are automatically shielded from any force that would disrupt their prosperity. This mindset revolution transforms how you navigate every apparent financial setback or threat. If you've experienced the power of maintaining unshakable faith, even when facing financial challenges, write unwavering faith in the comments below. Now, let me reveal what might be the most sacred element of Florence's entire prosperity teaching, what she called the eternal ritual. This isn't just another manifestation technique. It's a profound spiritual practice that transforms your entire relationship with abundance permanently. Unlike one-time methods that create temporary results, this ritual establishes an eternal connection with universal prosperity that grows stronger with each passing week. The ritual begins each Sunday before dawn, a time when cosmic energies are naturally aligned for new beginnings and maximum creative potential. In these first moments of the week, stand before a mirror with a golden candle lit before you. The mirror serves as a powerful reflection of your divine self, while the golden flame represents the eternal prosperity fire that burns within your true nature. Looking directly into your own eyes, connecting with your divine essence, speak Florence's declaration of infinite abundance. I am the infinite abundance of the Creator, expressing through this human form. I order that each day of this week money flows to me in increasing amounts and through perfect divine channels. My prosperity multiplies while I sleep, while I work, and while I live. I am an irresistible magnet for all good the universe desires to manifest. After speaking this declaration, write on golden paper the specific amount you're ordering for the coming week. Here's where the revelation deepens. Each week, you must increase this amount. If you begin with $1,000, the following week becomes $100, then $200, and so on. This incremental expansion reprograms your subconscious to accept ever-increasing levels of abundance as your natural state of being. Once your weekly amount is written, use the golden candle flame to burn the paper, allowing the smoke to carry your decree directly to the cosmic realm. As it burns, visualize your order being permanently recorded in what Florence called the divine ledgers, the spiritual accounting system that tracks and fulfills all authentic prosperity commands. The transformation I've witnessed in people who commit to this ritual is nothing short of remarkable. One client who had struggled with financial instability for decades began this Sunday practice faithfully. By the 6th week, her entire relationship with money had shifted so dramatically that opportunities she'd never previously noticed were appearing almost daily in her experience. What makes this ritual so powerful is its combination of specific elements: sacred timing, divine identity, clear command, increasing expectation, and symbolic action. Together, these create an unshakable prosperity foundation that continues expanding automatically as your consciousness realigns with your true abundant nature. Florence discovered that those who faithfully practice this ritual for 90 consecutive days experience what she called total prosperous awakening, a permanent shift in consciousness where abundance becomes your natural state of being and generating money becomes as automatic and effortless as breathing. If you're feeling drawn to incorporate this eternal ritual into your own life, write Sunday Sacred Practice in the comments below. As we come to the end of this revelation about Florence Scovel Shinn's prosperity secrets, I want to acknowledge something important. You finding this video today wasn't a coincidence. It was a divine appointment. The universe has been orchestrating this connection because you're ready for this level of abundance consciousness. I've shared these principles because they've transformed not just my financial reality, but the lives of thousands who've applied them faithfully. This prosperity wisdom deserves to reach everyone who's ready for it. If you've resonated with these teachings, consider subscribing to our channel where we explore these metaphysical principles even more deeply every week. The prosperity journey is always more powerful when walked together in community. If this message was meant specifically for you today, write divine timing in the comments. I'd love to know who felt that soul-level recognition while watching. Your engagement with this video, leaving a like, a comment, isn't just appreciated. It actually helps these prosperity teachings reach others who are searching for exactly this wisdom right now. It's another way of participating in that beautiful circulation of energy we talked about. I've prepared another video that takes these prosperity principles even further, revealing Florence's teachings on how to manifest your perfect living situation or dream home. It's waiting for you right here. Click and continue your prosperity awakening.